Welcome back to this World of Warcraft Let's Play. You're Sambo, and joining us, as always, is Seraphis, our Worgen Mage. Say g'day.
Fate has brought you here to me.
Fate has brought us here to you indeed. In fact, we're in the heart of Darkshore here. You can see on our map, and of course, if you've been following our previous episodes, we're here, and where are we? We're just northeast of the old ruins of Aaaaaughibbrgubugbugrguburgle. And of course, we had a quick look at those in the last episode. No doubt we'll be able to get there. There'll be a quest that'll send us down there. No doubt we've got to clear it out or something like that. We'll be able to go and take a look at what it looks like now for those of you, of course, who've played WoW for a while and would like to see what it looks like. If you haven't got the Cataclysm expansion, because of course it has changed, it's now ruins, it's not an outpost at all. And instead our outpost is up here in Lor'danel, which is where the Night Elves have set up a new base, and that's where we're questing out of. But of course, in the last episode, we were doing some tasks for the Lore Keeper down here. Where are we? Keeper Karithus, it's the one, who of course was also looking after Grimclaw, and we've got to go back to Lor'danel to hand in those quests. But in the meantime, we've been tasked with something else here, the ritual bond. Breathe in the incense in front of Keeper Karithus, and then choose the blessing of the great stag spirit, the great thistle bear spirit, or the great moonstalker spirit. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to get a nice little buff out of this, which will be good. Anyhow, here is the incense down here, so of course it's got a use icon over it. Let's just use that. We'll see what happens. Breathe in the smoke to entice visions of the great animal spirits. Alright, let's give that a go. See what happens. Oh, and look at that. This is a great thing, by the way. It happens quite a few places in the storylines around WoW. We've instantly been phased out, basically. And you can see here that the world's gone all wobbly and weird, kind of like we're in a bit of a dream. And you can see that all of the mobs have gone. And in fact, other players wouldn't be able to see us unless they were on this part of the quest as well. So it's a live phase out, basically. And what is here instead, very cool effects, aren't they, by the way, is the three spirits. So we've got the great stag spirit, and he says, I'm the caretaker for my kind, leading not through force but through wisdom and swift action. And the blessing of swiftness can be yours. So not sure what that will give us. Maybe an increased movement speed. Not quite sure. Let's pop over here and have a look at what this spirit has got for us, and it's the great moonstalker spirit. So tiger, like a tiger. If you place value in the ferocity necessary to overcome all odds, then I'm willing to call you my champion. Let's see. Now, know that if you side with my kind, the other spirits will not accept you, so consider your choice carefully. So spirit of the moonstalker. Not sure what kind of buff he'll give us. We've got one more over here, the great thistle bear spirit. I honestly can't remember. Let's have a look. Your heart is true if I would choose you as our champion. If you value the thick hide and resilience of my kind, then accept my boon. Know that the other spirits will not accept you once this choice is made. Alright, so we got basically, I'd say, strength and or other armor, I think. Thick hide and resilience, your armor. Whereas the one over here, Moonstalker, I think would give us, I don't know, see, it might give us strength or something, which really isn't of any help to us, to be honest. Place value in the ferocity necessary to overcome all odds. You know what, I'm beginning to think that perhaps this other one, which was kind of, I don't know, it sounded spell-ish to me. Let's have another go at this. In this wisdom I see through you can be yours, but know that other spirits. Okay, know that you're deserving my blessing, the blessing of swiftness. Oh. Alright, I reckon that's a run speed buff. Let's go to the Moonstalker, and we'll see what the ferocity one is. Again, not entirely sure, I can't remember. I have done this before, but it was a while ago now. Let's give this a go. Receive the blessing of a great animal spirit, and we have a buff there. No, we don't have a buff. That's the Grove Keeper's Trance. Maybe we got something in our bags. Let's have a look. No, maybe we'll get the buff once we speak to Keeper Karithus. Let's have a look at this. The ritual bond. So it is done. You've received the blessing of a great animal spirit, and I shall now complete the ritual for you. Please stand still. Oh, okay, so he's obviously going to give us the buff. And we do get to choose a reward as well. Cloak of the Stag. It's not as good as the cloak we've already got. So we're going to choose something that actually sells for the most. Which is the cloak anyway. So let's take that. And here we go. Please hold still for a moment. And we're being lifted up in the air. Look at that. We've got a bit of a blizzard around us. And we have Blessing of the Moonstalker. Attack and casting speed. Oh, excellent. Attack and casting speed increased by 10%, regarded in a friendly manner by the Moonstalkers of Darkshore. Very interesting. Does that mean that the Moonstalker... Oh, look at that. How very interesting is this? So now, look, we can attack the Moonstalkers if we wish, but they're yellow, so they don't actually attack us. They don't aggro us on sight. Now, I'm not sure, to be honest, how long this buff actually lasts for either. I mean, there's no timer on it there. Maybe it lasts until we're dead, or maybe it just lasts while we're in Darkshore. I honestly don't know. Anyway, here we go. Grimclaw's return, and you can see Grimclaw is actually gone there. With the binding complete, the blessing has taken hold. Grimclaw made a full recovery. Before I could do anything to stop him, he bolted off towards Lor'danel. I suppose that means it's time for your departure. It was a great pleasure to have met you. For now, farewell, and send my best wishes to Volcor and Grimclaw. Okay, so we have to return to them in Lor'danel. And let's have a look. So, yep, alright, it's run time for us. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that, because that also means... Actually, let's get to the path. That also means that we might be able to come across some ore, etc. In fact, there's one right there. Oh, no idea how to get to that one though. Can we reach it from down here? Oh yes, we can. Okay, that's interesting. Bit of a stretch of the imagination there, and never mind. Yes. Alright, so this is the old road that used to, if we have a look at the map here, the old road that used to run up right through the centre of the zone from top to bottom. But of course now it's been broken up with the events of the Cataclysm, of course. And where is it? Here we go, joining the... There we go, that's better. So yeah, now I doubt you can actually... Yeah, you can see up the end there, it actually just ends in a bit of a cliff because it has been broken along with the land. So, but I remember, as no doubt many of you will use our Dark Flight ability, by the way, get us there a bit quicker. Many times running up and down this road doing quests. It was a very long run to get from the top of the zone to the bottom. And of course now, like I've said in previous episodes, the questing has been streamlined. In fact, we'll go the scenic route. We won't exactly go down the road. The quests have been streamlined, so there's just a lot less running around now. Well, I mean, hey, there's always going to be running around, but it's a lot better now. It's much more organised into hubs. So you're not going to be sort of, pick up a quest from the bottom of Darkshore down here, asked to deliver it to a guy up the very top, and then run all the way back down to the bottom. What they were thinking about those sort of quests, I have no idea. I think it was very sadistic quest programmers, perhaps, going, we'll make them do whatever we like. And of course we all did. That's the sad part about it. No matter how ridiculous the quest would have been in the past, we would have done it in the name of WoW. Yeah. Maybe not so much these days, of course. We've all got a bit tougher and a bit more cynical, and we don't tend to put up with crap, to be frank. So I'd say that that's a lot of what forced the Cataclysm and the redesign of all the quests and the much better quest flow. And of course nobody's complaining about that, especially not me. I dearly love the new design. And in fact, I've still got to run through a lot of the very early zones that I've done multiple times in the past. But that are now completely different due to the sundering and the Cataclysm. So yeah, lots of exciting content to get my teeth into. Anyway, in the meantime, let's repair up and sell up our junk. So repair our items there. We'll use the good old Sell-O-Matic to sell all our grey items. Also got some white stuff here. You can put white stuff on the auction house if you so wish. Excuse me, but you are probably not going to really get many sales out of it, so it's probably just easier to sell it to a vendor at the end of the day, to be perfectly honest. That's why I'm selling them. And of course by white item I do mean the colour of the name. Right, now something else I've noticed in my bags here, and that is some small barnacled clams. If you do have these in your bag, we'll drop them down here so you can see them. If you have these in your bag, make sure you right click on them to open them. Because a lot of people forget about that, and I've seen people actually just selling these wholesale as they are to a vendor. And you know, not only will they contain meat for cooking or for selling on the auction house, but they also may drop a pearl every now and then as well. So definitely worth opening. There we go. It's this meat here. What do we got? Clam meat. And of course, they're used for trade goods in cooking. So if you're not going to cook them yourself, put them on the auction house. But for goodness sake, don't just sell the clam as is without opening it, because you're doing yourself out of a bunch of money or trade skill ups at the end of the day. Alright, now where's this quest handed? Oh, it's you. Alright, you must have been wandering around. That's why we didn't see you on the way in. Yes. Ishnu Allah to you indeed.
Good luck.
There we go. And look at that, we're 1.5 bars away from level 18. Got a new quest here, the Shatter Spear Invaders. As if we didn't have enough on our hands with the elements turning against us, it looks like the trolls are doing their thing as well. We've sent a contingent of our best sentinels to counter their attacks. If you'd travel northeast to the ruins and join them, I'm certain they could use an extra hand. So we have to report to Lieutenant Mora Starbreeze at the ruins of Methistra. Let's have a look on the map and see where that is. Don't forget to check near the bridges southeast of town for a ride up to our forward post. Oh, that's very interesting. Alright, so I'd say, we can see on the map here, there's a bridge across a river, and we're going to be heading up to this northeastern zone. There's probably a automated horse ride there or something like that, which is always handy. But this is going to be cool because if some of you watching haven't played WoW before, you're going to get to see the good old trolls, which of course, if we were playing on the Horde, oh, isn't that a good looking view? Gosh, I love this area. If you're playing on the Horde side of things, you could of course play as a troll. Trolls are a playable race, but in this case, of course, we're going to be against them. Right, now that was weird. There was a quest icon there, and then it disappeared. I'm not sure what that was about. And hello, there's another player, an actual night elf. Of course, this is really their zone. This is where they zone through after running through Teldrassil and their starting area. They come across here to Darkshore. Do love the night elves. Very tempted to start another one. A good old classic, don't groan, good old classic night elf hunter. Why the heck not? Anyway, there's the pendant from your deceased wife, my good friend. Thank you, Seraphis. Perhaps it would have been better if I'd done it myself, but even after these thousands of years, and of course night elves live for thousands of years, I could not bear to raise my hand against my beloved, and he would like to be alone with his grief. Very sad.
Be careful.
There we go, and we're a smidgen away from leveling, and there's good old Grimclaw and Volcor. Oh dear, I don't know if you can see that, but Volcor's name is in grey, and that doesn't mean good things. And in fact, if I hover over it, it says Volcor's level 15 corpse. He was alive when we left. What the heck happened? And Grimclaw's made it here. He's not going to be too happy. Okay, let's speak to Serendia Oakwhisper here. You've returned. It's good to see you. I suppose we have you to thank for Grimclaw's return. Excuse me. I'm afraid I have some bad news. I've been unable to purge the toxin, and Gershella died shortly after you left, and Volcor passed out just before you came back. He lived long enough to see Grimclaw come back safely, so he died with a smile on his face. That's a shame. Oh. And there we go. We've dinged to... what level are we? We are now level 18, and you can see new ability available, Cone of Cold, which is great. So that's going to be a new trick that we can go and learn. Let's see if we've got any quests up here. No. So we'll have to make sure that we go see our mage trainer, of course, and we'll also see if we've got ourselves a new talent point. No, the next one is at level 19. Let's also have a look at the dungeon finder here, because there's something that we need to do, and I haven't been doing in the past few episodes. In fact, maybe we'll do it in the next one, and that is the dungeon finder, of course, which means we're going to get put into a queue and go run one of 2 dungeons that have opened up for us now. We've got the Wailing Caverns, or Shadowfang Keep, and Shadowfang Keep is a nice fun run. If we have a look at the specific list, you can see here we've actually got Dead Mines, Ragefire Chasm, Wailing Caverns, and Shadowfang Keep. I honestly don't know why, if we look at the random, I don't know why Dead Mines isn't coming up there. Now, by the way, just to recap what the difference is between running a random and running a specific. If we choose random, we actually get extra rewards. We get 35 silver, we get a bunch of extra XP. That's over and above all the XP we'll get out of the instance, of course, and all the quests that are inside the instance. But we also get this helpful satchel of goods, which, by the way, are very good because they're generally blue items. And, of course, by blue, I mean, have we got anything? We've got whites and greens on. We've got one blue item, and that's our cloak of the Clarion Call there. So it's a good way to build up some good gear. If we choose a specific dungeon, and by the way, you'll still be able to queue for them. You don't have to run there. Like, for example, Dead Mines. Dead Mines is a heck of a lot of fun, as is Ragefire Chasm, but Dead Mines has been revamped a little bit. If we just select that and click Find Group, we won't get those extra rewards. We'll still be able to queue and get teleported there, but no extra rewards. And in fact, I can set my pool of the queue to be all 4. I just tick all 4 and hit Find Group, and that would work as well. But that's something for our next episode. We'll definitely have a bit of a run, and that will be something to look forward to. Trade supplies. This guy's got... Actually, wait a minute. Just repair there. Mind your manner. Very cool name there by that Night Elf Mage. An ocean not so deep. This guy wants us to speak to Gary. Swim to the due north and look for Gary. Okay. Must be some... okay. There are a great number of wrecks off the coast here. Cool. I love doing shipwreck stuff. They've got a great feel to them. Been trying to get hold of goods and put their valuables to more use, but there's a nasty infestation of Murlocs. Oh dear. Okay, for those of you who have never played WoW before, you're going to get introduced to the infamous Murloc, which is a bad enemy mob that's in World of Warcraft. They're kind of a lizardy fish type thing, and they're everywhere, and they're pretty funny, and they're kind of an iconic creature in the lore of World of Warcraft, so I can't wait for you to see them if you've never seen them before. Anyway, in the meantime, let's see if we've got any smelting we can do here. What do we got? 34? Good lord. Wow, that is a whole bunch of copper that we can turn into copper bars there. And of course, at some point, we're going to have to go back to Darknassus and get to the bank, because we're building up a pretty good reserve of crafting materials here. Of course, we've got our light leather that we can put on the auction house, along with the items that we get out of the mining. We've got some linen cloth there, which we can either increase our... Where are we here? We can either increase our first aid with, or we can sell on the auction house. To be honest, you do get a lot of money selling cloth on the auction house, but I do also want to raise my first aid skill. So we're just going to have to bite the bullet there and sacrifice those pieces of cloth to actually level up our first aid. We'll do that in a second. And of course, we want to put these other things on the AH as well and clear out our mail, which has some stuff returned from the auction house, probably from auctions that have expired. So yeah, lots to do there. We've definitely got to therefore do a dungeon run, get back to Darknassus, and of course carry on with the questing around here. You can see now our questing, just like I said it would, has come in line now. They're green quests now, so they're more within our level range, and we'll hopefully catch up so that these quests are actually meaningful in terms of getting XP. Let's have a look at the first aid here. Yep, cool. So we can make some heavy linen bandage. So let's do that, because we need to skill this up. So we'll create all of those. There we go, and you can see it skilling up 44, 45, and what I'm going to actually do, you can see I've got linen bandages on my hotbar here. They heal 66 damage over time. We're making heavy ones which deal 114 damage, so I'm going to replace them on my hotbar and actually sell those bandages that we've got to the vendor. Not much point putting them on the auction house. Well, you're welcome to give it a try. In my experience, though, they don't tend to sell that well. Of course, there'll always be someone who will buy them.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Keep your feet on the ground. Alright, so what do we have to do? We've got to go either up to the Shatterspear invaders with the trolls, or we'll go an ocean not so deep with the Murlocs. Ooh, and we've got an old favourite, which is the fishing daily back in Darknassus as well, so we've got to do that. Alright, wants you to speak to Gary for further instructions. Maybe, you know what, we'll go up and do the Murlocs because it's a bit nearby. And I'm really excited to show you the Murloc. You may well have heard the sound they make, a bit of a famous sound. And no, I'm not going to do my impersonation of it, although I have done it many times in the past, mainly when alcohol's involved. Anyway, oh, now, hang on. we want to swim out here, don't we? Alright, so we're looking for, let's see, an ocean not so deep. Alright, so we're looking for Gary apparently. Now, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it before, it's a good idea to kill the corrupted tide crawlers there if you can, especially if you're a cook, because the meat that they drop is very useful for your cooking. And if you're not going to be using it for cooking yourself, as always, it's going to be extremely useful to put on the AH and make yourself some money. Alright, so where is this Gary person? Looks like he's just straight ahead, and of course following both the arrow on our mini-map and of course the quest marker on our main map. Alright, looks like foolhardy adventurer and Gary. Gary looks to be like a little gnome with a pink hair and a pink beard. Good lord. Alright, so that's an interesting one, and we've got ourselves a little robot up here as well, a decoy bot, and we've discovered the wreckage of the Silver Dawning. Hello Gary, that's an interesting hairstyle that you have there. Goodness me.
Hey!
Hey!
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you too. How do you do? I'm Gary, and I assume Gorbold sent you. Yes, he did. If you're here to help, the plan's pretty simple. I've rigged up some decoy bots. We prance the little fellows in near the Murlocs and activate their countdown. They'll pulse light and sound to attract the Murlocs, and after several seconds they'll explode, taking the Murlocs with them. Okay, this sounds actually quite interesting. If we get enough of these in there, we should be able to make our way to the ship's holds again with less casualties this time, hopefully. That part's not for you though, just blowing up those little fishmen.
Off and away.
So it looks like we've got a control console here, and there's some Murlocs down there. Okay, a Grey Mist Tidehunter. Do you know what I'm going to do before we use these bots? And of course there's always something different and interesting in WoW, lots of different mechanics. I'm going to go down there and we're going to have a look at these guys, and we're going to attack one. And how cool is that? We've got the shipwrecks over there, just so you can hear what they sound like and see what they look like. There's all different shapes and forms of them throughout the world, but yeah, if you haven't, it's a bit of a treat. So here we go, casting Frostbolt. Oh, they're too far away and they're ranged. Come on, we want to hear them. I'm going to stop casting because I want us to hear them. Oh, I wish they'd do their call. Damn. Alright, let's see if we can get up close to one and pull one, because I want you to hear the noise that they make. Alright, here we go. That was it. That was the famous Murloc sound. Okay, excuse me. I am not going to do it, because I'm just going to make a silly fool out of myself, more so than usual. But you'd be surprised how many times I've heard that particular Murloc sound as somebody's ringtone or something like that. In fact, I think you can download the Murloc ringtone from the Blizzard website. Very funny. Anyway, let's get on with the quest here. We have to use this control console, and of course gnomes in the world of Warcraft are the engineering faction, if you like. They're always making gadgets and machines, so it's no surprise that they've got a console and a robot here, a decoy bot. Let's use this and see what happens. Alright, so it's actually turning us into, well, it's giving us a first-person view of the bot, and that's me. I'm actually able to control it, which is very cool. Okay, I like this, and obviously we've got a depth charge countdown pulse, enables countdown till explosion. What I think I'm going to have to do is run around and, gather up as many of these Murlocs as I can. You can see here we've got 0 of 50, so we need 50 to be taken out. And I'd say once that I have a whole bunch of them in tow, I can probably use this countdown, but we'll see what happens. And I'd say that the bot will get destroyed. Oh, yep, come on. Now I'm looking at my health bar for this. I've got 3,165 hit points left, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye on that, but I do want to bring up as many as possible. Let's just hit this countdown and see. Murloc pets, I've come to steal your treasure. Attempt to stop me quickly. There we go, and boom. Alright, so I took out 17 out of 50 that time, and you can see there's a great big pile over there of dead bodies. Let's go have a look at that. That's quite funny. Oh, they're fading away, damn. There were a whole bunch of them there, so yeah, that was pretty hilarious. Alright, let's do that again. Maybe I don't need to actually run around and aggro them. Maybe... Murloc pets have come to steal your treasure, attempt to stop me. Yep, they get attracted to us big time. Let's zoom out here and have a big look. Boom! Detonation imminent. There we go, 38 out of 50. Let's go back over here, and I think we'll see a buff appear up to the left of the minimap over here, perhaps, which will show us how long the countdown is for. So let's activate that once we get in here. There we go, and there it is, 7, 6, 5. So it's about 7 second, 8 second, whatever countdown. And boom! There we go. There's 50 out of 50 done. Well done, us. And you can see we've got a hand in back at Lor'danel. So let's head back there before the end of the episode, as we're running out of time as always. Gosh, time goes so fast when I'm playing WoW. It just really does. I don't know why that is. Maybe because it's all familiar. Maybe just because it's so slick, so silky smooth, and so flawless. And so much fun to play. You kind of really don't feel like you're battling against the system. You really sort of forget that you're playing a game, and you get immersed in the world, immersed in your actions and the storyline. Well, I do anyway, and that's why it's always such a joy to play this game. And of course, there's just hundreds upon thousands upon God knows how much hours worth of content in this game. It's ridiculous. So big fan, obviously, big fan. Anyway, alright, let's hand this one in. What are we? We just... oh, you know what? I just realised something else. In all of our excitement of getting that quest, we didn't go and train up. Bad Sambo. Very bad Sambo. We need to go see our mage trainer because we, of course, learnt a new skill. And we haven't done anything about it. In fact, if we bring up P, which is our spell book, let's have a look here. Where is it? There we go. Cone of Cold. And this is, of course, Cone of Cold. It's going to appear in the Frost Tree. And, yeah, I'll explain it when we get it. How's that? It's probably a better idea. Mining Trainer. Oh, actually, I might just check that we haven't leveled past where we need. No, we need to go to level 125 for the Mining Trader. Trade supplies. I'd like to browse your goods. Just make sure we didn't pick up anything there. Actually, I do want to make sure I go somewhere and repair actually as well. Because of course, whenever you're in combat, you do take damage. Okay, we've got a reward there. What do we got? We've either got a Shipwreck bow, and of course, we're not a hunter or anything, so we can't use the bow. We've got a glowing Murloc eye, which is an off-hand item. Now, of course, I'm currently wielding a two-handed staff. If we hover over our equipment there, you can see that it's two-handed, so I wouldn't be able to use this particular reward unless I got a one-handed, spell dagger or something like that. But it does give us +1 stamina and +1 intellect, and you can see that's what it looks like there. It's sort of like a glowing orb. So it's not much use to me, so I'm going to buy the Shipwreck bow, which is worth more to sell. There we go, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. The armourer and shieldsmith here, he should be able to repair us. There we go. And I'm going to sell off that bow because it's soulbound because I got it in a quest. So of course that means I can't put it on the auction house or anything like that. Right, I'm going to look on the minimap because I've got my trainers showing up here. I've got an archaeology trainer over there. Oh, that's another thing. In 2 levels time we're going to be able to learn archaeology. Very happy about that. And the mage trainer is apparently around here. So, oh, look at that. I'm standing right next to him.
Any friend of Grey Mane.
Anyway. Okay, I'm interested in mage training indeed. Cone of Cold. Let's train that up.
Let the light of the new moon guide you.
And may the light of the new moon guide you as well. Cone of Cold. We'll drop that on our hotbar. I absolutely love this ability. What does it do? Hang on, we've got a couple of seconds. Yes, we have got a couple of seconds left till the end of this episode. So what I will do is we'll go over here and we'll demonstrate it practically as well. In the meantime, let's describe what it actually says it does. So Cone of Cold causes frost damage to targets standing directly in front of you. So that's an important thing, and of course you might be able to sort of gather by the name of it, a Cone of Cold. It obviously blasts out in a cone in front of you. Causes frost damage to targets standing directly in front of you. Victims will move slowly and are easier to outrun. So it damages them with cold damage, basically, or frost damage. That's going to slow them down, and it's also going to hurt them, but you do need them to be in kind of a cone like that in front of you. So for example, if I was going to do it on this shimmer shell snail, gosh, try and say that 3 times fast. You know, for example, if I was sort of standing here, I probably wouldn't, it wouldn't affect them. It's not like a major AOE, whereas if I was facing this way, it would. And I love the effect of it. So here we go, we're going to give it a go, and we'll see what it does to this shimmer shell snail. There we go, so it actually did about 44 damage, but you can see they've got a debuff on them there, Cone of Cold. Movement speed slowed by 60%. So, you know, that's actually quite a lot. There we go, and we can use that on any kind of mob. So let's, it's got a, what has it got, a 10-second cooldown. We'll wait for it to come up. We'll use our Arcane Blast, our Arcane Missiles, and Cone of Cold there. And you can see it's actually put a debuff on the Vile Terror there as well. So it's a very handy tool to be able to get away. And of course we can Frost Nova, boom, that's also a frost damage effect. Use Cone of Cold, and that will do the Cone of Cold. By the way, it's not a single target. I know a lot of you may be saying, well, hang on, it doesn't do that much damage, and oh gee, it's got a movement speed reduction buff. You know, that movement speed reduction buff can actually save your life big time in a number of occasions. But not only that, remember, it's not just on a single target. And let's use Dark Flight to get back home faster. It can actually, yeah, do it. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. It'll effectively infect a whole bunch of mobs in front of you, as long as they're in that sort of, you know, 90-degree cone arc in front of you. They'll get that debuff on them. So very handy if you're being attacked by large numbers as well. So don't forget to pick that one up like I did. And anyway, as we stand in front of the beautiful Moonwell here in Lor'danel, it's time for us to go. We've been well over half an hour. Very sorry about that. Excuse me. And sorry about the frog in my throat. At least I got rid of my cold this time. But anyway, Seraphis, it's time to say goodbye.
Farewell.
Farewell to you. And of course, farewell to you, our viewers at home. And thank you very much for watching. I certainly hope you enjoyed this episode. Certainly hope you join me in the next one, where we're going to head up here. Where are we? Head up here to the Shatterspear Invaders area, where of course we've got trolls. A troll incursion up there that we're going to deal with. Probably the first time you will see trolls in the game if you're new to it. So lots of excitement going on there, and I think we're going to get a ride there as well on a horse. So certainly hope you join us then. In the meantime, of course, it's me, Sambo, and Seraphis, our Worgen Mage, saying take care, have a great day, we'll see you later, and bye-bye.